Hi guys. So I'm getting a late start doing the video. I've actually been, believe it or not, running around all morning out in the city. I've been getting these nudges like, you need to get this done. You need to get this done. You need to get this done. I've been getting these nudges for a couple of days because I have been truly isolating. Like Jack and I were isolated with just each other. And I'll be having him like 3 days one week, 4 days the next week, just so my ex-husband and I don't go crazy. And we do 50-50 like that anyways, but like I'm going to have him during the day too. You can catch Jack and I. I should make it like the Jack and Betsy show. We're going to be doing a lot of Instagram stuff. Um, that was one of the things that I did. I've been getting the nudge to upgrade my iPad for many days, like actually for weeks. I've been getting this nudge for a while. So I finally did that this morning because I knew that the AT&T stores were going to close and I knew that I could get it online. But I just felt, always feel more comfortable with them setting it up for me because I'm kind of a knob when it comes to that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to like catch Jack and I during the day when I have him, I'm going to be doing a lot of Instagram lives. And I'm also going to try to be on Twitter more. And if you're a member of the channel, you have my Snapchat information, and I'll repost that again in the membership community page so that you guys can have it. And if you don't know much about Snapchat and you're just signing up or what, I'm just doing all of this so we can all stay connected because we're all going to go stir crazy if we don't stay connected with each other. So the picture that I post for Snapchat, you can access it through that. So like your camera on your phone, and anyway. But if you need me to give you also my username or something like that too, just ask, just let me know. And I'll post all of that on the membership page again. I did that last week, but I'll do it again. In between all of this going on, I'm still battling with not feeling so well physically, not because I have the virus, because I don't have the virus, but I have my own physical constraints. Oh, by the way, so Jack has a slinky, and I haven't touched it since he's done this. I sprayed it with antibacterial spray though, because apparently that's what I'm doing these days, is like everything, like I'm going behind him and just like, he doesn't even know I do it. I'm just like, shh, spray everything he touched, because his little grimy little hands. But yeah, so he was like, look, he said, he called it the world. Buddha is holding up the world. So there you go. We have a new addition to our table. But yeah, so if you haven't joined Instagram, I am also a part of a new Facebook page that's coming together, and I just joined it today, and a client and friend of mine here in Kansas City is organizing it with healers all over the world, and so we're going to be like posting meditations and stuff like that on the Facebook page, and I'll put that link in the description box below. I literally just joined it this morning, like 5 minutes before I started the video. So I'm not really set up to do anything quite yet there. But so if you want to join on Instagram, I'm at Fearless Intuition 1111. On Twitter, I am at Betsy, but the E in Betsy is a 3, the number 3. So it's B3TSY 33. And on Facebook, it's under Fearless Intuition. There's a couple of Fearless Intuitions on Facebook though. So you'll have to, the best way to do that is to click the link. I'm not really on Facebook very much. Everything that I post on Instagram directly goes to Facebook. So there's that. And then the membership has the Snapchat. So Saturn moved into Aquarius today, you guys. And I'm not sure that it's done it. I forgot the time that it was supposed to do that. I'm really tired because I've been doing so much today, and I wanted to get some more love readings done. See, love, and I might later, but I'm not sure if I'll have the energy to do it. Oh, let's see. We are we're at the very last seconds of it. So, yeah, we're like at 29 degrees and 58 seconds. And so 11 o'clock tonight, Saturn moves into Aquarius at 11 o'clock tonight. And yes, that's a really big sigh of relief for those that had their Saturn in Capricorn, those that were having their Saturn return, for the Saturn in Capricorn. But, you know, it's kind of, everything's going to shift. The kind of, because what Saturn does is it places, restrictions. It places restrictions and strongholds on wherever it is, you know, transiting in your chart. I can't do a whole Saturn in Aquarius video right now. I'd like to eventually talk about it, maybe later this year when it actually goes into Aquarius for good, because what's going to happen is Saturn will be in Aquarius. It's going to go retrograde in May. It retrogrades back into Capricorn. It goes direct in Capricorn, and then it lands back in Aquarius for good in December of this year. Like, you know, and I think it's actually on the winter solstice, the winter equinox, when Saturn lands in Aquarius for good. I think it's December 21st, if I'm not mistaken. My paper's here somewhere. Anyways, so where it was in your chart in the past, like, so I'm a Libra rising, and Saturn has been in my 4th house, in Capricorn, my 4th house. And that's how you're going to figure it out in your chart, is you're going to find out where your rising sign is. But it's not really necessarily based on your rising sign. It's based on the houses of your chart. So if you get the opportunity to, because some people, like, for example, some people will have 2 signs in one house, meaning I have Virgo and Leo in my 11th house. I have some planets in Virgo and I have some planets in Leo, but they're all in my 11th house. But Virgo is also my 12th house, you see? So you can have a sign, a particular sign can share houses, right? So you really need to be able to see and you know, where your rising sign actually starts. So Saturn has been affecting my 4th house, which is about my environment and material things and where I feel safe. And that's been going on for the last 2.5 years. And man, I can really see the lessons in that. I can really see where I strained, where I wanted freedom, and the universe was like, but you can have freedom anywhere, and your home doesn't necessarily have to define who you are. And like all of the lessons when it comes to home and family, and like I really learned some lessons about how I am as a mother to my children while Saturn was in Capricorn, because that's all related in the 4th house of family, safety and security and home. And now it's moving into my house. It's in the 5th house, and the 5th house is all about your creativity and your passions and like what gives you fire in your belly. So there's going to be a lot of like, and Saturn kind of brings a seriousness, and a restriction to that. And so it's almost like with Saturn in my 5th house, I'm going to have to become really innovative. Aquarius, right? Become really, really innovative with the creativity, with the content that I'm putting out there. I can't do the same old thing again. There's something that's building within me, you know, a fire within me, but at the same time, I have to be able to maneuver it. Also with the 4th house, there was, you know, it can be a lot of health stuff, and I've really learned a lot about my health in the last, yeah. So, you know, my advice, if you want to know how Saturn is going to be affecting you, get a chart reading, I'm not doing any readings right now, any personal readings, except for the ones that I've rescheduled or will be rescheduling. But I'm not doing any new personal readings, but there are a lot of really amazing astrologers out there. Go on Twitter and search for the astrologers there. There are some amazing astrologers there as well. And if you follow me, I follow a lot of amazing astrologers that actually give chart readings. So, or you can just go to it's below astrocharts.com or something like that. I don't remember the name of it. I think that's what it's called, astrocharts.com. And just put your information in there, and that can be a really easy way for you to just see where Aquarius or where Saturn is going to be, where Aquarius is in your chart, what house it's in, and how Saturn is going to be affecting that area of your chart. We're also in Aries season. So the sun has moved into Aries, and it's going to be conjoining with Chiron in like a week. And so with all of this pandemic stuff going on, you're going to have to face also like that wounded warrior within yourself. And it's, you know, a lot of people are in super survival mode. I even recognized within myself this morning that it was much harder for me to be calm when I'm out in public, because the intensity of the way everybody, I mean, like there are no cars in the road, and yet everybody is driving 10, 15, 20 miles faster than the speed limit. And I know that it sort of feels like a freedom because there aren't a lot of cars out here, or a lot of things going on out here. But that doesn't mean that this is a time to slow down. The panic can overcome you, right? And reminding yourself that being in control of who you are and grounding yourself on a daily basis, and allowing yourself to remember who you are on a daily basis is going to be one of your best defenses during this time. Because it's not really necessarily about you getting sick. Like, I don't want you to sit here and be like, oh my God, I'm going to get sick. Because I've been there. I've done, in the last couple of days, every time Jack would cough or every time Jack would sneeze, I would be like, oh my God, Lysol, you know what I mean? And we don't want to raise a generation of kids that have this horrible OCD behavior that's like germophobic. But at the same time, we want them to be aware. So where's the balance there? Where's the healthy balance there? You get to feel how you feel, right? I am not telling you that you should be happy right now. I am not telling you that you should not be afraid. I am not telling you that things aren't bad, because those would all be lies. Those would all be against the very nature of what you're feeling right now. So let yourself feel all of that, and then let yourself pull back from it and say, okay, I felt all of this fear. Some of it is very, very real to be afraid of. But if you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of your loved ones, and you're finding a new way of being balanced and normal within the chaos, that is going to be a really good way to get through this. I'm super worried about the mental health of a lot of people that, I mean, there are a lot of people out there that aren't like me, where I like to be isolated. I've been preparing for this for years. People would always be like, you know, why don't you have friends, or why don't you go out and do this, or why don't you go out and do that? And I'm like, honestly, I'm over it. Like, I don't need to go out and pretend that I'm having a really good time when I'm just miserable and feeling everybody's energy and it's like all negative, right? So, and I really had to learn how to love myself, like deeply love myself, 100% unconditionally love myself. And the only way to do that is to be silent and to be still. But I know that there aren't a lot of people out there that are like that. There are people out there that need human to human contact and interaction and all of that stuff. And so I really, really urge you guys to give yourself permission to be needy. Reach out to your friends, reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a really long time, and you've been Months ago, you were thinking, I wonder how that person's doing. Reach out to them. They probably need you to. And feel it all. Let yourself feel it all. But don't sit in it. Because when you sit in it and you feed the fear and you feed the unknown and you feed everything that is not of love, it's going to be so much harder to dig yourself out of that when we get through this. And we will get through this. When will we get through this? Well, it'll probably get really, really bad, and it'll get really, really good. And then I have a feeling it's going to come back again towards the end of the year. And there are a couple of reasons why I sort of feel like that's going to happen. Some of it is because of the way the astrology is playing out. Some of it is because of my own intuitive feelings. Some of it is because I've had conversations with other people and they're like, have you thought that maybe, and it's going to be the seasonal changes, right? When we have those seasonal changes, right now everybody has allergies, so they're coughing and sneezing, and there's like that extra mucus anyways from the allergies, and that can spread disease when you're not properly containing it, right? And then in the summer months, or, when we're not going through all of that, there's just going to be these shifts that happen, right? And there are reasons behind it. And I know that I'm not the only one that has that idea in my head. Maybe this is the first time that you're hearing it, that it's going to get worse, it'll get better, and then it'll probably start rearing its head again. Hopefully by the time it does really rear its head again later down the road, we have something that will help, like, not necessarily a cure, but some kind of vaccine that will make it less difficult for people to handle. But so yes, it's okay to be afraid. I'm not going to be a person to tell you to not be afraid. I am afraid too, but I can't let that rule my life either, because there are so many other things right now that I need to take care of, and that I need to, and there are probably things in your life that you need to take care of as well. You just have to align yourself with them. You have to tap into it. And if you're kind of stir crazy, join me on a social media platform. I've been kind of quiet the last couple of days on social media just because yesterday I was doing the child exchange, and then I had to go to the grocery store and, get a couple of things. When I go to the grocery store, I literally I'm in there for like 5 minutes. I grab the one or two items that I really want, because I'm trying to expose myself as little as possible to being out there. And I'm not panic buying. And the reason why I'm not panic buying and I'm not hoarding things is because I know that I'm going to be provided with what I need, not necessarily what I want or what I think that I need, but I know that I will be provided with what I need, because I know that I'm very well taken care of. Some people don't have that kind of belief and mentality and faith, and when you're out of balance and you're in that panic mode, it's very understandable. So that's what that's what I've been doing, is I'm not like trying to load up. Like, I will grab items for several days and then not go to the store, and then I'll just grab items for several days and then not go to the store. But when you're buying for an entire family of 5 people, I totally understand why you would have to, be there for a while. Just be very careful with what's going on. Like I said, I have been practicing this method of isolation for a long time, for like years. It's very interesting how that happens. I don't know why I grabbed the Oracle card. I guess I need to do an Oracle card today. I guess that's what we're doing today. Sorry that I talked for 20 minutes and I didn't do any cards, but I'll try to make this just as interesting. I am wanting to do, oh, I love this. I am wanting to do at least Cancer, Leo, and Virgo love readings today. Fingers crossed that I have the energy to get all of those done, just so you guys know. So the Oracle cards, I've never done Oracle cards for a daily energy update, so here we go, right? And if somebody could timestamp this for me, so you guys know when the cards start. I know a lot of people don't want to listen to me ramble for 20 minutes, but some of you just don't. So Love Abounds. This is actually the Ace of Cups. And then we have Trust. Ah, I love Spirit. I I love my job. I love how this works, guys. And it's not getting past me that I'm wearing green, 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 love, right? Oh, speaking of, I do have my lapis rings in. They're not on my website yet. I'm going to put them on my website this week. I have to take pictures of one of the rings and put it up on my website this week. But those will be ready and available soon. All right, so love abounds and trust. So trust is the Fool, and love abounds is the Ace of Cups. So, and that's what it is, you guys, is trusting that love abounds. I mean, that's what it is. That's what this is. There are, and I got this message this morning in meditation. So I wake up every morning and I'm doing these violet flame meditations that I absolutely love because it helps heal. The violet flame meditation, you bring in all of your angels and it helps heal your physical body and your mental body and your spiritual body and like all of your dimensions, right? And while I was doing the violet flame meditation this morning, the message that came to me is that there are a lot of divine counterparts that are uniting, like they're coming into union right now, or reunion, which makes a lot of sense because sort of when you're like faced with an apocalyptic end of the world kind of view that's happening, you want to be with the one that you love. You want to be with the one that quote unquote completes you. I hate using that term. Because you each should be complete individuals first before you come together, right? But there's this quiet recognition is what I want to call it with the Hermit and the Lovers. There's this quiet recognition and almost a an overall reunion of it's the love space. I want to call it the love space. So let's keep going. It's so funny when they're like giving me so many different messages and sometimes it can get, oh, that's C. Ooh. And the Empress. These are all major arcanas, you guys. Something big is happening for sure. The Empress is about Mother Earth. It's about creation and Mother Earth. And yes, these divine counterparts can be soulmates. These divine... Could you try again? No. These divine counterparts could be soulmates. They could be twin flames. It can just be the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together as well. I also am getting the message to, if you don't want to get pregnant right now, be very careful because I feel like it's a very fertile time, believe it or not. I mean, I know that's really weird to think about, but it's so true. So many people are isolating. They're getting quarantined together. So just be really careful. But the Empress is Aries season. It is the springtime. It is when we plant the seeds. It is abundance, right? And manifesting abundance. The Aries new moon ritual. I will be doing the new moon ritual Monday evening. And it will be available to all membership levels, whether you're on Patreon or you're on the channel. If you'd like to be a member, you can click on the description box below. You get lots of perks. Since I'm not doing personal readings and stuff, I'm going to start posting extra readings on the membership pages too. I've really had to like pay attention very closely to my energy lately because this is all very draining. And I'm sure that you've probably heard a lot of energy healers saying that. It's like we're very anchored into the earth right now, and I feel like because especially if you carry the earth's energy or you carry other people's energy within the earth's energy, like the more you're anchored into it, the more your energy is being used by other people. Like we're trying to balance out the fear with love, and have a healthy amount of both, like that's really what has to happen right now is have a healthy amount of fear and love, both. I'm going to do 6 cards. I'm being told to get one more. They keep wanting to jump, and there it is. I keep wanting, oh, justice. See what I mean about the balance? Okay. Some people are having to get really creative about how to come back together. And I actually want to use the word how to come back home too. There's a lot of people that are out there still in other countries and stuff that haven't come home. So pray for them. If you can't be with the one that you love right now, it's very difficult. It's very hard to kind of be in that space because we don't know what's going to happen, right? So then we have the 6 of Wands, and then we have the 3 of Wands, and we have Justice. Fire, fire, fire. Okay. There is a sense of rising above, bettering yourself, and by bettering yourself, you're bettering your existence, you're bettering your life, you're bettering your relationships. When you pay attention, right? The 3 of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in. For those of you that are, sorry, there's something wrong with my eye. For those of you that are worried about the way that this is all going to play out, or the way that things are changing, and like what might be happening in the future, what may or may not be happening in the future, I want to tell you that these 2 cards are very promising, because I feel like everything is like, I need you guys to know that the phrase "this too shall pass" is even true now, and then we have Justice, because justice will be done. This is the opposite of the Empress. The Empress is Aries. Justice is Libra. Those are opposites. And like I said, probably during when we get closer to the fall equinox and then the winter solstice, right? That's when things are going to start ramping up again. But we have to be able to rise above now, so we're prepared for later, and not just going like, oh my God, we have to do this all over again, kind of thing, So let's see what the Hermit is. The Hermit is the self-isolation. The Hermit's been coming out a lot in general readings, general collective readings, because this is really what we should be doing, is self-isolating. But being the Hermit isn't, the self-isolation, you don't have to drive yourself crazy or just binge watch Netflix for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. The Hermit really goes within and finds that direct connection with Source. It's hard to kind of do that, I think, right? I think that the balance, and it's a little bit difficult to do that. But with the Knight of Swords, see? When you're feeling rushed, when you're feeling fear, when you're feeling that chaotic, and it starts to build up inside of you, and you're like I keep getting the fear of that. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Right? Because things are my schedule is so off. My schedule, and I was trying to get my schedule evened and cleared out before all of this started happening, and I'm still thrown off, right? So I will get that anxiety. When the anxiety is building you up, is starting to build up, you have to allow yourself to pull back and The Lovers isn't just about relationships. The Lovers is about coming into alignment with yourself as well, getting that masculine and feminine energy together, and really balancing that out. And so in that face of chaos, remember who you are. I actually heard in my mind, remember the fuck who you are. Because that's true. In the face of all of this chaos that's going on, you haven't changed. You're still the same person you were before COVID-19 showed up. Your outside world has changed. So when we get back to where we are, on the inside, things feel much more balanced. There are decisions that need to be made when it comes to your loved ones. Possibly one particular relationship, the Two of Wands on the Lovers. It's like you're at a crossroads, almost. And not really sure, because the Lovers is also about making decisions too, but I feel like there's this want to grow and nurture. There's a feeling of wanting to rush it. Because you feel the union coming, because you feel the reunion coming, because you feel like you can tell that things are coming together. There's a desire to rush it. And so when that desire starts to rear its ugly head, also get balanced again. And if you're having a hard time getting balanced, join us for the meditations, join us for those releasing. I did also post a 10-minute chakra alignment meditation. It's just kind of going through the chakras and then getting us grounded and then connecting back up with source again. You know, just if you want something really fast and you don't know how to meditate, that would probably be a really good place to start. The Empress. Queen of Wands. All right. So Aries is showing up today. Aries, cleanse us all. Start that fire in our asses again or something. I am really glad to see Aries season. I feel really bad for Pisces though. I mean, it's like, it's not, it's not surprising to me that Pisces season turned out to be the way that it turned out to be. It's the end of the zodiac. It's the, you know, it's our darkest fears, our shadowy places. And now we get to heal ourselves from the I am, from source itself, from Mother Earth. And allowing ourselves to see how far we've come. I say that, right? And then laugh because, again, you have to re-gauge what it, you know, it's going to be different now. It's going to be different now. When we gauge what we, because there isn't a known for this. When is it going to end? We need an end date. It's like, if you'd like to speak to the boss of the coronavirus to get an end date for this, I would love to know. But I'm pretty sure the boss of the coronavirus is its own boss. Because there isn't a known, you have to re-gauge all of where you're going and what you're doing. And is this good for me? Is this bad for me? Am I isolating myself too much? Am I putting myself out there too much? Am I, you know, this and this and this and this? But we still have wins. Through it all, you're still winning in some way, shape, or form. I mean, the other day I went to Target and was really excited because I saw disinfectant wipes, and it was so exciting for me. I was like, I cannot believe I'm so happy. It's like the happiest thing that's happened to me today. Win, right? You still have to celebrate the wins. And if you have to make decisions about relationships right now, remember that you need to make those relationships you need to make those decisions with those relationships based on who you are, who you were before the virus, who you are now, because we're constantly evolving and constantly changing, right? And not panicking and believing and allowing yourself to believe that when it's divinely ordered to happen, it'll happen. When the door is supposed to open up for you, it will. And those kinds of things we will get lost in this fear, right? I almost don't want to say things like that, because it's like, how do we believe that we can be happy, right? 10 of Cups on the 6 of Wands. Spirit is trying to show you that even in the face of the unknown, you can still plan, and you can still achieve, and you can still be with those that you love, and you don't have to rush things to get there. It's almost like there are two groups of us. There are those of us that have to be like, I got to get everything done right now. I got to get everything done right now. I got to get everything done right now. Because what if the world ends tomorrow? You know what? If the world ends tomorrow and you have 6 huge things of toilet paper, you panicked and spent all of that time panicking and using all of your energy to panic instead of being with the people that you love, or talking to the people that you love, or connecting with people via phones and on, please don't come together and hug right now. As much as I love you all, at the AT&T store, we fist bumped, or we elbow bumped. And even that is being told, we're being told not to do that, because you cough into your arm and then you elbow bump somebody. Come on. My point, you guys, the 10 of Cups on the 6 of Wands, we're going to get there. And I want you to dream about getting there. I want you to be able to dream about the things that the travel plans that you're going to have, and the things that you're going to do, the things that you wanted to do before. Here's what could possibly, a lot of us are really, really worried about funds, and that's understandable. And I think that the fear of not having enough right now is a very valid and very real fear. That 5 of Pentacles on the 3 of Pentacles on the 3 of Wands. When are we going to get to rebuild? We don't have, we don't have the fear of not having enough is so heavy right now. And for some people, it's not a fear. For some people, it is a reality of not having enough. And so that's why I want to urge you to check on your people, check on everybody, check on, and even this morning I saw on the news channel about we have the local food bank harvesters, and they were like, we can only have 10 workers at a time in here, but we've had so many volunteers say that they're not going to come in because of the virus, that they actually need volunteers, even though they can only have 10 at a time, when usually they have 50 people in there working, they can only have 10 at a time, they're still short-handed, you see? So if you need to keep yourself busy and you feel like giving back to the world in some way, and you're not afraid of doing it, don't put that mask on, put those gloves on, go feed people, go help volunteering, go do what you can, and get your mind off of your own lack right now by helping others. And if you're looking at me and you're like, Betsy, I have absolutely nothing to give, then rest too. Do some resting. However, giving yourself permission to exist in the way that you need to exist right now is huge to stay out of the lack mentality. And it's huge to stay out of the fear of not being able to gain. But I also want you guys to realize that the rebuilding has to start sometime, right? So we can't stay in that lack mentality for too long, because we have to be able to be very innovative and allowing ourselves to, like Saturn in Aquarius, we're being restricted socially. Aquarius is the sign of being social, right? We're being restricted socially. Makes a lot of sense. Social distancing is Aquarius and Saturn. Saturn in Aquarius. So, but we have to have faith that it's going to come. We have to have faith that it's going to happen. And you also have to have faith that you will be guided, you will be taken care of for whatever is best for your your best and highest good. There's a lot of unknowns right now, for sure. Let's get, man, 40 minutes. This is a long one, you guys. If you're still sticking in, if you're hanging in there with me, I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. My stuttering is coming out, by the way. Both of my sons are stutterers as well. It's pretty funny. Ace of Pentacles on Justice. That's why I'm very articulate, because I had a speech therapist for a couple years when I was younger. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles on Justice. And that's sort of what I was saying here, right? The Ace of Pentacles is that gift of stability from the universe. It's not the gift of stability from the government. It's not the gift of stability from, like, where am I going to find my money? Where am I going to find my security? Where am I going to find my safety? If all of the ways that you've been able to count on having that security and having that safety and having that funding, and now all of a sudden it's gone, you have to believe. You don't have to believe. You can believe whatever the hell you want to believe, but Spirit is saying, please believe that I'm taking care of you. I'm balancing things out. And Source is saying I'm balancing things out, and Mother Earth is saying I'm balancing things out. I put up a meme on Instagram yesterday that said, I feel like, why do I get the feeling that Mother Earth is pissed and just sent all of us to our room to think about what we've done? And I'm like, oh, damn. She really has. She has said, I am tired. What was that commercial? Don't tread on me, with Mother Earth and somebody walking, or was it driving or walking on the earth or something, like throwing trash. Don't tread on me. We need to bring that commercial back. Anyway, Ace of Wands. Oh, look at this, you guys. Ace of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Cups, the Chariot. Shit. That, and the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands and the Four of Swords. All right, let's talk about this, because this is a damn good reading, you guys. All the way from the Oracle cards, we have the Ace of Cups twice. Thank you very much. All the way from the Oracle cards to these end cards. And you can believe all you want that things aren't going to get better, or living in fear, or living in, whatever it is. But the universe, Spirit, is telling you right now that the way that we're going to move forward is by loving ourselves and giving that love to everybody else also. And the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune are all about divine timing. This is an opportunity to gain stability within. This is an opportunity. The Ace of Wands is that passionate opportunity. This is that fire, to gain stability, to gain balance, to realize how you really feel towards another person, or how you really feel towards, the people in your life, and allowing yourself to make that decision instead of just sitting here like, I know I need to make a decision, and I know I need to do something sooner than later, right? But rushing into it is not a sustainable answer. You cannot panic and rush into something and expect it to last long term. The Wheel of Fortune, things are changing. The Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune are all about divine timing. Man, I'm excited for this reading. This is like one of the best readings that we've had in a while. And we need some happy news. We need some good news. But it also comes with faith. And faith is very hard to find these days. Believing within yourself and knowing that you're connected. The other thing that I've really noticed about myself, I've noticed that my energy has been changing quite a bit. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also very exhausted. But my palms, my hands and my palms are really, really hot right now. And so I, like, when I feel the heat building up in my hands, I almost like have to give that energy back to Mother Earth. Like I'm literally Reiki energy healing Mother Earth some days. Like I'll just sit there like this, right? I'll just be like radiating the energy that's building up inside of me from all of this, and then giving it back to her to heal her. So now is the time to recognize little things about your energy and little things about the shift. A lot of people are getting some massive headaches. I know that I actually wake up some days with headaches or like a strain in my neck right here before I do my meditation and my yoga and release all of that energy. It's like the built up energy that I get through the night when I'm dreaming. And, you know, so see the changes. Allow yourself to see the changes and allow yourself to see how things are still moving forward and things are still evolving and growing, and there is abundance. There is actual abundance that you can still find during this time. Maybe a little bit more difficult to look for, maybe a little bit more difficult to find, but it's there. And you can build on that and you can grow from that. Let's look at these last two cards and then we'll call it a day. I know I've been talking, I haven't done a video this long either in a while, so there you go. Seven of Wands and the Four of Swords. Protect your energy right now from the negative energy sources that drain you. Allowing yourself, the Four of Swords, to rest and heal, allowing yourself to be present with yourself. That Seven of Wands is about self-love too. You know, when we have healthy, loving boundaries created for ourselves, it is a lot about self-love. So, and the Nine of Swords, of course, shows up because of the fear, right? But this is like the first negative, besides the Five of Pentacles. This is like the biggest negative card that we have in this spread. The Knight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles are a little iffy, but that Knight of Swords, I mean, it's still there. It's an underlying, it's underneath everything else. It's an underlying energy. So please take care of yourself. Thank you guys for being patient with me getting these readings out. I love you. And again, please reach out to me if you need to. And I'm going to be doing my best to be present as much as I possibly can. I love you guys. Bye.